It's a lot going on in the NBA today, and I do not want to waste any time. This video is about the Los Angeles Lakers, and as the title card says, are they on the clock? Because I have thoughts about their offseason, LeBron, Luka, Rob Pelinka, the direction of the organization. Tricity, aka she might know something, which is why the YouTube channel is called Tricity, aka. But let's get into it. The Lakers are on the clock. And I think we knew this already, but with the offseason moves that they've made, again, yesterday, LeBron says, I'm not coming back. Today, Rob Pelinka does an all-out blitz. Sign and trade for Walker Kessler. You sign Quentin Grimes. You sign Colin Sexton. You sign Sandro Mamu. A lot of moves, because I think there is pressure on the organization to show Luka Doncic like, hey, we are committed to you. We are committed to building for you. We want to build a championship contender for you. And technically, Austin Reeves too. But Austin Reeves is the help. He's not the guy. He is the help in comparison to Luka. So it's like, here are all the things. And they re-signed Austin Reeves. You kind of forget that they re-signed Austin Reeves. So here's the full platter of everything we're willing to do to convince you to stay. I'm not convinced he's going to 100% stay. And I could be overthinking and overanalyzing the situation and overthinking how much money matters to these people. Luka will never need for money. And maybe it's a foreigner thing, but when he's going into free agency in 2 years, because he has a player option 2 years from now, what is the incentive to sign with the Lakers if they cannot build a contender around you? Unless you truly do not care about winning and just want to rely on the idea that, hey, the Lakers, oh, we're going to go get somebody. Before Bron, they were going to get somebody for years, and the somebodies just were not coming. But my problem is with this particular core, when you think about that in context, again, you have Luka, you have Austin Reeves, now you have Walker Kessler, who, good player. I like Walker Kessler. His fit is going to be interesting because when you really think about it, 4 years, $130 million, that's whatever for Walker Kessler. I put the contract info on the screen. Trading 4 first-round picks for Walker Kessler is insane. But before I go there, when you think about the idea of Walker Kessler, who he is as a player, I think it is fair to him to acknowledge that he has, it's kind of funny when you say it out loud, Kessler has not played a meaningful minute of basketball since he's been in the NBA. The Jazz have basically been tanking his entire tenure. We truly don't know how good he is because to be in a system that is functioning all around, and that's the thing, all around, which means you have active players at the guard, active players at the forward, active players behind you and beside them on the bench. The Jazz have not had that. Last year, Kessler gets hurt. He plays 5 games. We've seen the flashes, really good rebounder, shot blocker. You can funnel a defense through Walker Kessler. That's the idea for that player. And ideally, that is the type of big that you put next to Luka and Austin Reeves. We saw it in Dallas with Derek Lively and Daniel Gafford. And we saw what he did with Daniel Gafford. Not that Gafford was a bum. You get what I'm saying? But they did their thing. They make the finals. They don't win. And then you blink and here we are a couple years later. But 4 unprotected first-round picks for Walker Kessler is insane. And this is why I say the time starts now. Because according to, I can't remember who I seen say it on Twitter. Maybe I can find it and put it on the screen. The Lakers do not have a first-round pick available for trade for the next 7 years. 7 years, gang. Bro, it's 2026. It is 2026. That means in 2033. Think about how old you'll be in 2033. The Lakers, unless they go get a first round pick, do not have a pick of their own to trade. 2 of those picks going to the Jazz were unprotected. 2 of the picks were pick swaps. That's crazy, right? That's insane. So when I bring that up, it's not just to say, hey, because for a team like the Lakers, first round picks don't matter, right? Who are these good players that they're just finding that are punching into the rotation and mattering in their championship run? Even though the one thing that we've seen is that these players absolutely matter nowadays, especially in the second apron era. Think about OKC. Think about the Spurs. Think about any team is just you have to have players, especially when you have high salary guys. Luka, high salary. Austin Reeves, high salary. Walker Kessler, high salary. How are you going to fill out the bottom of that roster, especially when you just paid 3 people a lot of money? You're going to need draft picks. They don't have it. Yeah, it's interesting. The clock starts now for them because if this group caps out at something less than making the NBA Finals. A one-off Western Conference Finals appearance is not enough. It is not enough. It's not enough for a team led by Luka, because think of who he's grouped with. SGA, Jokic, Giannis, Tatum. Champion, 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 champion. And then there's Luka. Luka has no MVP, you know what I'm saying? And that doesn't take away from how good he is. You get what I'm saying? Like, Luka is still him. But his body has not been the best. Injuries, yada, yada. But as we saw this past season, I think it was a late stretch. And again, that was a weird stretch of the season to have your best ball, because we know that's when things get kind of weird in the NBA and players kind of play above themselves. But it's Luka, the best shot maker in the NBA. The heliocentric offense thing is kind of pushing out of the NBA. But he's the guy that if it can be done and win a championship with, it's going to be him, right? If this group caps out below NBA Finals, being able to make the finals, and then think about it, this is the parity league. So it's not like once you get a team that can make the finals, you're constantly there. That's not the case either. How would they pivot to make this team better? You don't have any first round picks. You don't have the first round picks available to trade. So if this does not work as is, I can tell you what's going to happen. They're going to trade Austin Reeves. That's what's going to happen. 2-3 years. And again, this is all dependent on the team and their ability to compete, truly compete for a championship, not just be within the group of teams who maybe could, maybe couldn't. No, they have to actively be there, like the Spurs or OKC was this season, like the Knicks were this season, even last season when Knicks made the Eastern Conference Finals. They got to be right there. If it doesn't get there, your best asset is now Austin Reeves. But who knows what his value will be 2-3 years down the line. Tricky. Very tricky. He'll make a lot of money, which once you factor in cap raises and things like that, it's not going to be a whole lot. You get what I'm saying? But that's going to be the out, which begs the question, why not get ahead of it now? But the problem is they don't have a front office or a front facing figure, because it's Rob Pelinka who Rob Pelinka has not been the best at his job. And the best thing that he's done were because people wanted to be there. Rob Pelinka didn't make LeBron come to LA. You know what I'm saying? Rob Pelinka got the job. You go trade for AD. Duh, if you get LeBron, the first thing you do is trade for AD. And again, if I'm Rob Pelinka, why do I care about draft picks I won't be here for to matter when I can't trade them anyway? Because Pelinka is not going to be here that long. And if he is, somebody in LA is scamming, scheming, betting, or doing something crazy. I don't know what it is. They're doing something crazy, but he's not going to be here. So, which also makes it crazy. Why wouldn't you make this trade when you had LeBron to try to shore up the team to make the finals? Why would you not do it then? But LeBron's going. And again, this goes back to their unfettered commitment to showing Luka, we are serious. We want to build around you. We want you to stay. We want you to stay. So yeah, it's interesting. I usually hate conversations like, well, you're just waiting for the next superstar to leave. No, this isn't like a young Timberwolves team where you ultimately think the Timberwolves aren't going to be worth anything. Therefore, you're basically begging for Anthony Edwards to get up out of there. Oh, I can't wait for Ant-Man to get traded, or just any young superstar who people try to sink their claws in on early. No. When superstars get traded to that second team, things get tricky. I don't know if Luka leaves, but I feel like he is a real deal threat. A real deal threat in free agency when the time comes. People saying, oh, he's going to link up with Jokic. Maybe. But that's the conversation. Y'all tell me what y'all think in the comments. It's Tricity, a.k.a. Tell me what y'all think about the Lakers offseason so far. We can even talk about LeBron, where you think he's going to go, whatever. What you want me to talk about in the next video? Well, I know what I'm going to talk about in the next video, but we'll go beyond that. Peace.